Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. It's the Hole in RV Front Wall AC Install Part 2 featuring troublesome travel cover awning adventure, including AC condensation evacuation issues. Okay, remember when I did the air conditioner and the front hole in the wall install? Well, what happened is after a little while, I didn't have the air conditioner tilted down enough, and the first day it just didn't run enough to fill up. But the next day I ran it real hard, and after about 2 or 3 hours, all of a sudden it started pouring inside. And once it started, I couldn't get it to stop for a while, so I just had to deal with the catastrophe. So I come out here, pulled the air conditioner down, cut out the holes at the bottom, and took the saw and cut out a little bit on the top and bottom, you know, so it's not angled. And came back in here and set it back in there, and now it drips out the drain like it's supposed to. So I believe I am ready to put the front window awning and travel cover back on. I kind of did a little too much work. I didn't really have to take this off to get the travel cover off. I just had to take these off of the sides here, and I'll show you why in a moment. But I'm kind of glad I did, because I've always had trouble with water coming up in here. And you can see I did my best to try to get up in here with some caulking at one point, you know, and kind of futile doing that. And I'll eventually put the butyl tape back on it. But again, this front wall is coming out a little bit. This window's got to come back out too, you know, so I just use silicone caulking to get by for a couple, you know, for a year or two while I figure this all out. And that's basically what I'll do too, is I'll come in with the this white partial silicone. It actually peels off a lot easier, and just go ahead and, while I got this off, get up on the top of this window so anything that does leak through this doesn't leak through the window, and not even bother cleaning that off, just made it right back up to this here. Put some screws in it, like I said, just put some caulking on it. I don't even really have to worry about the middle section, since that awning over the air conditioner takes care of all of it. But like I said, I had figured this out a long time ago and sort of forgot it, but there's 2 screws here and over there, and you pop it out. Like I said, you take these loose and it slides out, and it actually makes it a lot easier to clean this out, because this thing was full. I don't know where, I think that's the little pile of stuff I pulled out of this thing. So while I got it, I'm going to go ahead and give it a good washing out, and go ahead and mount that thing back up separate, and then slide this back in. While I've got this off though, I'm pulling this thing apart and going to see if I can't get this thing here back up in here set right. I'm very, very much wanting to paint it, but it's gonna probably rain later today, so I may have to wait on the painting. We'll see. You know, and I found a trick though to these silly things. This one here was riveted, and I think I drilled it out, put that bolt in there. But remember I was talking about this thing being stripped out? Well, they've got this punched in 2 different ways to keep this from sliding back out. So, you know, maybe ramming something in there, trying to bend that flat, but that's really not worth it. I think what I'm going to try to do is just put a few washers in here and just use these threads up at the top of here to get that to secure itself back down. And just, the other side's working, you just continue to be gentle with it. Anyway, that'll give me a chance to tighten that up. And now that I remember how to take this off, I think I can just leave that nice big fat L channel on there and keep it nice and solid. So let's get this apart and get it at least straightened out, if not painted, and put back on. Okay, I changed my mind about not using the butyl putty tape but I haven't changed my mind about not taking all the time to sit here and peel all this stuff out, because I noticed that it's actually got the channeling for the clip-in stripping to keep the water off the screw heads. And it's going to rain today, so I'm going to go ahead and just stick the butyl putty tape over what's left of the old stuff. And you know, if I have to, I might come in and put some of this caulking right here for now. But that should take care of the screw holes too, so I don't have to caulk them, and I can take it all down later and redo it. There we go. Look at that, I got the right screws in it. And now I'm ready to slide this up in here. Run a little bit of caulking on the corners. Slide it in and be done with it, I think, for today. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. That didn't go in too difficult either once you get the hang of it. And the butyl tape, it only really goes up to about there. Maybe I could have tried to get it to stick up a little bit so some water might collect right there. You know, let's see, it's hanging down just a little bit right there. It's not perfect. Anyway, I'm gonna just put a little bead of caulk up along the top here just in case. I'm so done with having problems. But like I said, I'm gonna use the part silicone cheap caulking that seems to peel off pretty easy, because it's not gonna stay there forever. But I tell you what, I really like that. I like the way that stripping looks too. Looks nice and fresh and I like the black and white look. I'm even thinking about painting the black on this like a dark blue or something in the long run. But yeah, I'm gonna be able to, pretty soon, this door frame's coming out, and I'm gonna put another beam down here and finish this that I started, what, 4 or 5 years ago? Well, maybe 3 or 4. Anyway, as soon as I get the door frames in, that putty tape will go behind it, the right screws will go in there, and then I'll have that on there. I'm building me another plywood door like that over there, and get the deadbolt in it, and then this thing will be super secure too. And oh, I was talking about coming out here. I realized a couple of things. I can't come out too far because I got to have room for a vehicle to be able to pivot, you know. So the further out I come, the more I'm going to have to tilt the angles into here, you know. So all that's going to be a trade-off. So I'm probably not coming out over the propane tanks. I'm coming up to the tanks and just coming straight up most likely. If I do come out over the tanks, I'll have to, you know, just come out on the center, leaving room again for a vehicle to twist and maneuver. Anyway, let's slide that piece up in there and finish this off. All right, I was a bit of a delayed development individual. I forgot to caulk these up before I slid this on here, so I made a little bit of a mess, but I think I got what I was trying to do. And I put me a little glob there in case it wants to run. That way it won't, you know, run down into the spot where I don't have the caulking. Same here, if it runs down here and starts running that way, it'll come down. And this should be a gutter, act as a gutter when it's clean, now that it's cleaned out. Even though I've tried to keep it clean, it's just a bit of a struggle, but now it's nice and solid. I had to adjust this over a little bit to line it up, but I think I got what I was looking for. Now this is usually a two-handed operation, and you know, it's not quite flat, but it's got a good downhill. The water will drip off the air conditioner down over to here and run off. And the issue I was having before was the water was coming and dripping right on this. I mean, couldn't have been a worse spot for it to drip on. But that's why you saw that piece of metal sitting there, was to divert it. Well, now this will take care of that again, and I can figure out what I want to do about pulling the floor and the wall out later. But anyways, let me get this out so we can get another picture. There we go. That's nice. I miss having that sitting there, giving me a little bit of shade and some more insulation and privacy if I really want it. And it's not interfering with the air conditioner operation. In fact, like I said, kind of assisting by diverting the water off of my temporary but pretend permanent box. Anyways, take a look, see up in here, and gutter ends right there. Run down there, and I got good caulking seam right there. Same over here. Yeah, I say that's a pretty much 100% job. Now I never actually took this off. I just loosened it up and got that seal put back up in there, took it over to the hose and washed it off. And I think because the little round seal that goes up in there has got a couple of breaks and a few missing pieces, so I just really need to just get a new one and redo this whole thing one day. And you know, an interesting idea I thought, I could just flip this over and put that side on the outside and it'd look new for for a little while, but then it'd look ugly on the inside. I talk too much. All right, KK. It's time to get Jaybird. Come on, buddy. Want you guys out for a little bit. Well, it's a two-handed operation as well. Anyways, gonna take a seat on my recliner and take a look out the window, and yeah, I can still see out the window plenty. It doesn't take up too much space and provide some shade, and yeah, I like it. That'll work. All right, KK, I'm coming, buddy. I'm letting you guys out. I'm gonna be done as soon as I clean up my tools. See you next time. I hope you enjoyed that video at least as much as I enjoy life to make it so far. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you care to, and stay tuned. There's more to come. I just saved a whole bunch of lumber off of a couple of burn piles next door with my tractor and trailer, so I've got a itching for some framing, and I've also got an update video that I need to do to get out and get through to you. So I hope you have a nice day. Jay, anything else to say? Bye.